Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear students. So this is our third meeting on semantics. Today I'm going to continue with the lexical relations. We last time said that words have lexical relations, and why is it important for us to teach lexical relations and semantics? We said because this is useful in the field of teaching or in the field of learning second languages or foreign languages, and as we do in our context, English, a teacher can teach a word by giving its synonym or its antonym or its part of a speech. For example, if the teacher is teaching new words like the word elephant, and he asks the students, okay, what does it mean, the word elephant? Who knows the meaning of the word elephant? Okay, we assume that this is a new word that none of the students has an answer. He would say it's a kind of animal. So when he says it's a kind of animal, not living in the sea, not living at home, so living in the jungle and the forest, it is the hugest or the largest or biggest animal. It has a trunk, it doesn't move quickly. So once again, he's giving some characteristics or some features of this animal. But most importantly, he limits students, he limits or narrows students thinking about this linguistic item or this word or this vocabulary item. When he says it's a lion, so what happened? Students have to, when he said that it's a part of, or it's a kind of animal, so once again the students will have to center their thinking. So we'll say, is it Asad? Is it feel? So and so on. So this is very useful. The other example is that when the teacher is introducing a new word that is enormous, let me say for secondary school students, so the building was enormous. Okay, who knows the answer? Nobody knows the answer. He would say, so it is a synonym of the word very large or very huge or very big. Well, the point is that, so the teacher is teaching a new word by introducing a previously learned or acquired word. So it's refreshing the previously learned or acquired word. Okay. Another example is that when the teacher is teaching a word like tiny. Tiny seems to be a new word. Okay, dear students, who knows the meaning of tiny? Tiny creatures, tiny animals, tiny room. Okay. Well, it seemed that nobody knows. He will say the word tiny is the opposite of very small. So it is the opposite of large. So, and it's the synonym, it has the meaning of very small and so on. So once again, narrowing students guessing or predicting about the meaning of new items or new words. Now we will begin with the synonymy. So what is a synonym? What are synonyms? Synonyms are words that have similar or closely related meanings. So for example, the word large and big are synonyms, but remember that they don't have all the time identical meanings or senses. In the sense that they can't be used interchangeably. Because if I say that is a large room doesn't exactly mean a big room. Well, sometimes we have a room that is large in size and space, but it can't be called large. Well, sometimes we say a large room depending on space. It's a big room, this is a big salon, a big room, a big meeting hall. But the point is that they are similar to some extent. Despite all these similar or little differences between them, we still call them synonyms. So they can often, though not always, be sustained for each other in sentences. Well, the point is that they often can be used interchangeably, but not in all contexts. Okay. If I say it's a large animal, it's a big animal, we can think that they have both meaning. If I say that is a big man, that is a large man. If we say a big number of people, a large number of people, okay, they can't have identical meaning or identical sense. We can say what was his answer. So this is a clear-cut answer to words that are synonyms. Or what was his reply? Well, I asked Muhammad a question, but he didn't reply, he didn't answer. So we have the word respond. I asked him a question, but he did not respond. Okay, the phone is ringing. Please answer the phone. Answer the phone. I can't reply the phone. I can't reply to the phone. So in some contexts, you will find that answer and reply and sometimes respond are perfect synonyms in a way that they can be used interchangeably. So with much the same meaning. Okay. Examples, as you read, almost, nearly, I would say, almost 7 people came to the meeting last week. Nearly 7 people came to the meeting last week. I nearly finished my work. I almost finished my work. I would say almost 70% of the students, I would say nearly 70% of the students, so both having identical meaning or identical sense. Now we have the pair big and large. So they are examples of synonyms, but remember we can't use them interchangeably in all contexts. And inshallah we will be touching on the different types of synonyms, mainly consensual synonyms. I mean, 2 words can have the same meaning in a particular context, but not in other contexts, but and in all contexts. Okay, broad and wide, buy and purchase. So when we focus on buy and purchase, they have identical meanings, but for the word purchase, we will notice that the word purchase is used more in formal situation or informal contexts, though they have the same meaning. Like when we say several and many. Several and many are synonyms. Remember, several and many, but they differ in use. I mean, several is used in formal English, mainly written English, and many is used in spoken English and sometimes in written English. But the point is that several is always formal. It's used in formal contexts. We have cab and taxi. Cab seems to be non-standard, where taxi is standard. Car and automobile, or automobile in the United States, they use the word automobile more than the word car, like the 2 words pavement and workside. So pavement is mainly British English, which means الرصيف, and workside is mainly American English, which means الرصيف. And we have autumn and fall, so those 2 words are synonyms. You know, autumn is British English and fall is British English. Coach and sofa, remember those 2 words are cognitive synonyms because they refer to the same object, they have the same concept. You saying, well, I want to buy a coach, I want to buy sofa. Hey, Jack, you're sitting on a comfortable coach, you're sitting on a comfortable sofa, so you cannot deny the word coach. I'm not sitting in a coach, but I'm sitting on a sofa. Freedom and liberty are synonyms, but they are not always identical. I mean, they don't express the same thing all the time. We say Statue of Liberty, but we don't say Statue of Freedom. I would say people were giving lots of liberty and people were giving lots of freedom to express their opinions or just to have equal rights. Okay, I would say you are free, you have lots of freedom to do whatever you want, but I cannot say that you have lots of liberty. So the word liberty has to do with politics. We say Liberty Party, حزب الحرية, we can say Freedom Party. Okay, if the teacher is teaching this word liberty and the students seem not to know the answer, he would say, okay, it is a synonym, it has the other meaning, or it has the meaning of freedom. If you're teaching the word purchase and the students seem not to know the meaning, you can say it has the same meaning as buy. So here, okay, we have explanation to the bear. To the words existing. To the words, okay. Here, okay. Reply and answer we have just mentioned. Answer is used with a question. Okay, can, call, appeal, inquiry, telephone, and doorbell. I would say the phone is ringing. Okay, I will answer it. Well, the doorbell is ringing. Okay, I will answer. Okay, it means I will answer. I want to check who is sitting on the door or at the door. We can call. We can also have phrases such as answering an accusation. I'm going to answer your accusation. أتعامل مع الاتهامات. أرد على الاتهامات. And sometimes you can say I want to reply to these suggestions. Sometimes answer, okay, to all the problems. To deal with the problems. We cannot replace answer here with reply. So the point is that you can say I want to reply to the accusation. I can't reply to the problem because I want to answer. These problems means I want to deal with them. Okay, if a teacher asks a student a question and the student is thinking and seems to be not able to do this, he would say, you haven't answered my question, but I think you can say that you haven't replied to my question. Reply is used with words as a questioner, a change, argument, and salute. We can have phrases such as a reply to a letter. Okay, thanks for your reply, dated 17th September, and so on. Reply to an email, okay, and so on. By the way, the two words reply and answer can be used as verbs and nouns. I would say, until now I haven't received a reply from Ahmed. Until now I haven't received an answer from Ahmed. But when we talk about emails and letters, it is much more advisable to use reply, though native speakers use the word answer in the same way. But when we talk about standard or formal English, here we use the verb reply. You can't always replace synonym words. You can't. When I just mentioned that synonyms or a pair of words can't be freely interchangeable. Sandy had only one answer correct in the test. I cannot say that Sandy had only one reply correct. So this means that the pair are consensual synonyms. They can be used in the same meaning in one context, but they can't apply to all other contexts. يمكن أن يستخدموا بنفس المعنى في سياق معين في سياق محدد، ولكن لا يمكن أن نعمم ويتم استخدامهم بطريقة متبادلة تؤدي نفس المعنى في سياقات أخرى. Sandy had only one reply correct. That is, this is unacceptable. Unacceptable. My father purchased a large automobile. My dad bought a big car. So they have the same meaning. They have same meaning. Second, the second one is more casual or causal. So you will find that people prefer to use the word buy. So the word purchase, is highly formal, and it shows the high formality or formality of English language, and it is used in formal context like economic context or accounting context, في سياق اقتصادي، في سياق المحاسبة accountancy, and so on. And now, okay, types of synonyms. Cognitive synonyms. I want to explain this in Arabic, lest some students can't comprehend. Cognitive synonyms وهي المرادفات المعرفية وأحيانا تسمى perfect synonyms. ونعني أن الكلمتين مترادفتين متطابقتين في المعنى ويمكن أن يستتم استخدامهم في كل السياقات دون أي إخلال في المعنى المعبر عنه حينما نقول happy and glad, when we say happy and glad, both words are cognitive synonyms, because you can say, well, I felt very happy to hear that you are back to the United States. I felt very glad to hear that you are back to the United States. So glad, happy, pleased, all of them express the same meaning, so we call them cognitive synonyms. Well, the point is that when I say I'm not happy, I'm just glad, that doesn't make sense, because if you are not glad, then you can't be happy. If you are not pleased, you neither can be happy nor glad. So the point is that I want to make it simpler and easier to understand. You can't deny a word in the pair and then you confirm the other word. For example, we have the other pairs, okay, die and pass away. Okay, if someone passes away, then he dies. So I would say Jack Anderson died only last year. Jack Anderson passed away only last year. But you cannot say that Jack didn't pass away, he only died. Okay, why? Is it impossible to do so? Because both words are perfect or cognitive synonyms. So hopefully this is very clear. We don't want to make things complicated. Example, seaman and sailor. Bahar, Bahar. He is a seaman, he is a sailor, are cognitively synonymous. Other pairs include mailman and postman, buy and purchase, hard and difficult. So all of them express the same meaning. That's why we call them cognitive synonyms. Near synonyms, I mean two words having not identical meaning, but I would say near meaning. So they have similarity in terms of what they express. So near synonyms are expressions that appear similar but not really identical in meaning because of the variations in their meaning. Okay, I'll give you an example. If you say misty and foggy, misty and foggy, mistiness is a lower degree of fogginess. If it is misty, you can drive, but if it is foggy, you can't drive because it may be very difficult for you to see well. I mean, to see through the road, so it might be dangerous. The word or the two adjectives, pretty and beauty. Okay, you can say Sarah is pretty, but she can't be beautiful, because beauty is a larger degree, is a greater degree than prettiness or being pretty. So we have just to make such differences, but sometimes you can say, well, the house is pretty, the house is beautiful, but if you want to be much more accurate, you have to say the house is beautiful, because native speakers understand that the word beautiful expresses something with a larger degree of prettiness, like stupid and foolish. You can say that he is more foolish and he is very foolish, because foolishness or being foolish is the top level of being stupid or stupidity. You can say, oh, you're stupid, you have done so, but you can say, oh, you're foolish, because this is an insult. Okay, once again, consensual synonyms. We have, for example, stream and brook. Okay, and a brook appear similar in meaning, but they are not really identical. A brook is a small stream, while a stream is a small river. The same explanation could be offered for mist and fog, or misty and foggy. Fog is a thick cloud, while mist, or a thick smoke, while mist is a thin fog. Okay. In Arabic we say safina and we say lunch. We say bakhira, safina, qarib, hasaka, yacht. These seems to be similar in meanings, but they can't express the identical synonym, because al-yacht, okay, asghar min as-safina. We say that yacht, okay, and boat is smaller in size, is smaller in shape than a ship. A vessel is larger than all of them. And now, okay, I want to finish with consensual synonyms. It's not included here. When we say consensual synonyms, المرادفات النصية, this means that two words that can be used with the same meaning in one context but in other contexts, and you have to be very careful about them, like the word make and produce. I would say Japan produces excellent mobile phones. Japan makes excellent mobile phones. Okay, so both words or verbs are consensual synonyms. Here they express the same meaning, so we call them cognitive synonyms. Remember, I mean, in this sense, in this context, I would say, oh, mommy, please make me a cup of tea. Can I say, oh, my mom, produce me a cup of tea? Absolutely, I can't say this. So we have a group of words that can be identical in meaning in one context. Look at that jacket. Look at that leather jacket. It looks stylish and it's rather cheap. I want to get it, get it. I want to buy it, buy it. I want to have it, have it. I want to take it. Okay, so those 5 verbs have the same meaning in this context, but I can say that I took a certificate last year. You can say I got a certificate last year. You can say I bought a certificate last year. So I mean, if the two verbs apply in one context, they can't apply to other contexts. And we have lots or very many examples. And now antonymy, the term antonym is used to describe oppositeness of meaning. Okay, we have words like alive, dead, big, small, fast, slow, happy, sad, hot, loud, long, and so on. Types of antonyms, I think types of antonyms, I explained this last time. We have implicitly gradable pairs, graded antonyms. When I say big and small, when I say that house is not big, it doesn't mean small. So here we have other possibilities between them. Okay, the same. What applies to the pair big and small applies to other adjectives. Okay, as you see, big mouse, a small elephant. And now we have complementary pairs. Complementary or okay refers to the existence of pairs that the denial of one implies the assertion of the other, male and female. If you say that this creature is not male, so it must be female, and vice versa. If you say that animal is not alive, so it must be dead. If I say, look, that animal is not dead, so it must be alive. So the negation of the first one implies the affirmative of the second one, and so on. If Jack is not present, he is absent, and so on. Relational pairs, converseness, refer to the pair of words that display symmetry in their meaning. If X gives Y to Z, then okay, Z receives Y from X. A point about, okay, I would say, I bought a car from Ahmed, Ahmed sold me this car, and so on. Other common relational pairs, we have buy, sell, push, pull, okay, command, serve, give, take, teach, learn, okay, wife and husband, teacher, student, and so on. Hyponymy, when the meaning of one form is included in the meaning of another, the relationship is described as hyponymy. Examples are the pairs animal, dog. So I would say a dog is a hyponymy of animal. Dog and poodle, poodle is a kind of dog. Vegetable and carrot, carrot is a kind of vegetable. So, but remember, carrot, vegetable, all of them are hyponym of okay, food, and so on. The concept of inclusion involved in this relationship is the idea that if an object is a rose, then it is necessarily a flower. So the meaning of a flower is included in the meaning of rose, or rose is a hyponym of a flower. Another example, we say, okay, we have building and we have hospital, school, institution, university. All of them are hyponym of the type buildings. Okay, dear students, this is the end of our lecture, and you have just to consider the other slides because we don't have enough time. Okay, hopefully I will meet with you later, inshallah.